Item Number, SCP-096, Object Class Euclid, Nickname, The Shy Guy. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-096 is to be contained in a cell, in its cell, a 5 meter by 5 meter by 5 meter airtight steel cube at all times. Weekly checks for any cracks or holes are mandatory. There are to be absolutely no video surveillance or optical tools of any kind inside SCP-096's cell. Security personnel will use pre-installed pressure sensors and laser detectors to ensure SCP-096's presence inside the cell. Any and all photos, video, or recordings of SCP-096 likeliness are strictly forbidden without approval from Dr. Redacted and O5 Redacted. Description: SCP-096 is a humanoid creature measuring approximately 2.38 meters in height. Subject shows very little muscle mass, with primarily analysis of body mass suggesting mild malnutrition. Arms are grossly out of proportion with the rest of the subject's body, with an approximate length of 1.5 meters each. Skin is mostly devoid of pigmentation, with no signs of any body hair. SCP-096's jaw can open to 4 times the norm of an average human. Other facial features remain similar to an average human, with the exception of its eyes, which are devoid of pigmentation. It is not yet known whether SCP-096 is blind or not. It shows no signs of any higher brain functions and is not considered to be sapient. SCP-096 is normally extremely docile, with pressure sensors inside its cell indicating it spends most of the day pacing by the eastern wall. However, when someone views SCP-096's face, whether it be directly via video recording or even a photograph, it will enter a stage of considerable emotional distress. SCP-096 will cover its face with its hands and begin screaming, crying, and babbling incoherently. Approximately 1 to 2 minutes later after the first viewing, SCP-096 will begin running to the person who viewed its face, who will from this point on be referred as SCP-096-1. Documented speeds have varied from 35 kilometers an hour to redacted kilometers an hour, and seems to depend on distance from SCP-096-1. At this point, no known material or method can impede SCP-096's progress, and the actual position of SCP-096-1 does not seem to affect SCP-096's response. It seems to have an innate sense of SCP-096-1's location. Note: the reaction does not occur when viewing artistic depictions. See document 096-1. Upon arriving arriving at SCP-096-1's location, SCP-096 will proceed to kill and direct sponge SCP-096-1. 100% of cases have left no traces of SCP-096-1. SCP-096 will then sit down for several minutes before regaining its composure and become docile once again. It will then attempt to make its way back to its natural habitat, data redacted. Due to the possibility of a mass chain reaction, including breach of Foundation secrecy and large civilian loss of life, retrieval of subjects should be considered alpha priority. Dr. Redacted has also petitioned from an immediate termination of SCP-096. See Interview 096-1. Order is waiting approval has been lined out. Terminate, and now this lined out has been changed to termination order has been approved and is to be carried out by Dr. Redacted on data redacted. See Incident 096-1-A. Audio log from Interview 096-1. Interviewer, Dr. Redacted. Interviewed, Captain or Reginald Redacted. Former commander of Retrieval Team Zulu 9-A. Retrieval Incident Number 096-1-A. Begin log. Time Research Area. Captain Redacted. It always sucks. Bad word. To get initial retrieval duty. You have no idea what the redacted or the bad word thing it is capable of besides what jacked up information the field TGs can scrape up. And you're lucky if they even tell you the whole story. They told us to bag and tag. They didn't tell what was jack bad words, not about not looking at the bad word thing. Dr. Redacted. Could you describe the mission, please? Captain Redacted. Yeah, sorry. We had two choppers. One was my team, and one on backup was Zulu 9-B. And Dr. Redacted. We spotted the target about 2 clicks north of our patrol path. I'm guessing he was facing our direction, else he would have taken us. He wasn't facing our direction, else he would have taken us out then and there. Dr. Redacted. Reports it says SCP-096 didn't react to the cold. It was my negative redacted did sent what was the degrees Celsius. Captain Redacted. Actually, it was negative redacted. And yes, it was butt naked and didn't so much as shiver. Anyway, we landed approaching the target, and Corporal Redacted got ready to bag it. That's when Dr. Redacted called. I turned to answer it, and that's what saved me. The target must have turned at my whole squad and my whole squad saw it. Dr. Redacted. That's when SCP-096 entered in digital emotional state. Captain Redacted. Yep. Interviewer now pauses for a second before continuing. Sorry, got the willies for a second. Dr. Redacted. That's alright. Captain Redacted. Yeah, well, I never saw its face. My squad did. And they paid for it up the bad word. Dr. Redacted. Could you describe it a little more, please? Captain Redacted pauses. Yeah. It started screaming at us and crying. No animal roaring, though. Sounding exactly like a person. Really bad word, creepy. He pauses again. He started firing when it picked up Corporal Redacted and ripped off his leg. God. He was screaming for our help. F word. Bad word. And, anyway, you were blowing chunks out of the target. Round and round. Didn't you jack bad word. I almost lost it, said when it started doubting that expunged him. Dr. Redacted. That's when you ordered them to use oven. Papers are heard moving. I think. AT-AHEDT launcher. Captain Redacted. An anti-tank gun. Started carrying it ever since SCP Redacted got loose. I've seen those tear through tanks. It's like tissue paper. Did the same thing to the target. Dr. Redacted. There was significant damage to SCP-096. Captain Redacted. It didn't even bad word flinch. It kept tearing apart my squad, but with half of its torso gone. He draws a large circle across his torso. Dr. Redacted, but it was taking damage. Captain Redacted. If it wasn't showing it. It must have lost all its organs, all its blood, but didn't acknowledge any of it. Its bone structure wasn't hurt at all, though. It kept tearing my squad apart. Dr. Redacted. So no actual structural damage. How many rounds would you say were fired at SCP-096? Captain Redacted. At the least, 1,000. Our door gunner kept his GAU-19 on it for at least 20 seconds. 20 bad word seconds. The 650 caliber rounds pumped into that thing might as well been splitting at it. This is when Zoo-9-B arrived. Captain Redacted. Yeah, and my squad was gone. Zoo-9-B managed to get the bag over its head. And it just sat down. We got it into the chopper and got it here.
I don't know how I never saw its face. Maybe God or Buddha or whatever thought I should live. The Jack Badward. Dr. Redacted. We had obtained an artist's depiction of SCP-096's face. Would you like to view it? Captain Redacted. Pauses. You know, after hearing that thing screams and the screams of my men, I don't think I would want to put a face to what I heard. No. Just no. Dr. Redacted. All right, I believe we are done here. Thank you, Captain. Chairs are heard moving, and footsteps leave the room. Captain Reginald Redacted is confirmed to have left interview room 22. Dr. Redacted. Let this be on record that I formally requested SCP-096 to be terminated as soon as possible.
That's finally it. Oh my gosh, that was very long. It's actually the longest right now. Oh my gosh. I don't think I'm going to be doing one of these in a good while, now, because this was long, very long. Like I'm not going to do one of these long ones in a while. But can I just say, I had to say bad word because there was bad words in it, and I know my mother doesn't, and my father, and my other mother, because I have two moms. One of them is a stepmom. Would probably not like it that I would say what words actually appeared on that thing. So yeah. Goodbye.